Madison, Wisconsin is as good as it gets.
It's all about the Badgers.
Go Badgers! Go Badgers!
Games like this is what really separates college football from everything else.
Open up the history books. Here comes Rondell.
That was J.J. Watt, and what a story this young man is. Gordon again! What a performance by Melvin Gordon! And the pass rush gets home for the Badgers. Camp Randall lets it roar.
This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Well, we saved our best for last. The ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day pregame show season finale. The Wisconsin Badgers and the Minnesota Golden Gophers in the battle for Paul Bunyan's axe. Winter weather advisory across the entire state of Wisconsin, and so we are celebrating the occasion as well by, for the first time, I believe, in ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day history, including the COVID season, everybody doing the show from their respective homes. Congratulations to us on a job well done here to close out the 2025 regular season. Let's see if Wisconsin can get a win over Minnesota in the season finale. Good afternoon, everybody, in snowy Wisconsin and wherever you may be joining us on 100.5 ESPN Madison, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, and the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channels. My name is Jesse Nelson. Joining remotely from their respective humble abodes, we first go to Nortman Manor, where we are joined by former Badger punter Brad Nortman. Brad, good afternoon.
Gentlemen, it's a treat to be with you guys today. It's snowing outside, and because the Badgers aren't wearing, or they're not going to a bowl game this year, barring a miracle, had to throw on my TCU Rose Bowl t-shirt. Kind of dug it out from the bottom of the closet. It's been a minute, but what a roller coaster ride season it has been. Such a fitting way to close out our time together, like a throwing it together remote. What a season. I can't wait for this game. This is the first game all season where I have a higher level of excitement than I have the rest. I feel like all season I'm like, okay, here we go again type of thing. This is the most excited for a game I've been all season long.
Well, we're going to talk plenty more about that in a moment, but first we bring in the man whose home has been funded by the good people of Mount Horeb for many a year. It is Adam Mertz, the school board president. Oh, man, I can't wait to see what kind of estate you've got out there, Mertzy, with that school board money coming in your way. How you doing on this beautiful Saturday afternoon?
I thought this was a pregame show, not an episode of Cribs.
Not today, it's not.
No. Hey, I want to congratulate us on there's two ways this could go. One, our technological prowess, the fact that we managed to pull this off, and this is where we're at in 2025. Also, some incredible softness in society. Remember when you used to just make it there no matter what? That's like out the door now. Like, I don't need to do that. Let's just hop online and make this call.
Well, there is one person that we have to thank for his service today for making it all the way a couple of blocks down the road into the Everlight Solar Studio, and that is our producer, Riley Yauk, also the host of the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show. Riley, good afternoon, and thank you for hauling yourself and your vehicle all the way over to the Everlight Solar Studio to make this all happen today.
Hey, anytime I am... There we go. I forgot to put myself back in one. Anytime, happy to be here. Yeah, sometimes you just got to thug it out. You got to make do. And I don't blame you guys. You guys should not have driven here. The roads are horrible right now, and I'm sure they're only going to get worse. But we made it, and we'll survive. We're going to have a great show. And so I get to dress as Paul Bunyan.
And you got to dress as Paul Bunyan for being the loser for our picks competition for the year. Appropriate music. I love that. So, yeah, let's talk more about that. But first, it is a great day if everybody is going to be at home, not going out and just letting the snow come down on a wintry Saturday afternoon to enjoy an ice-cold Coors Light. I found one in the fridge here at home, fellas. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is brewed by Coors Light. When you need to refresh on game day, choose a beer as cold as the Rockies and as cold as it is outside today. Cold filtered, cold lagered, cold packaged for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do. Crush a Coors Light or 3 here on a day today like where you're not going anywhere. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right, Wisconsin and Minnesota is the contest this afternoon. Let's go back to Brad Nortman, who said this is the most excited he has been for any Wisconsin football game this season. More than the opener, more than when they played the number one team in the country, more than the wins that they had a couple of weeks ago against top 25 opponents. Why, Brad, are you so excited for today's regular season finale?
There's 2 reasons why. One is this team is giving me hope. They're giving me something to root for, right? I mean, that's like the true fan in me, where I look at this team and say, my expectation for them to be able to get on the field and play Wisconsin football has now at least been a prototype on the field. I've seen it. I've seen it over the last couple of games. I know Washington was, you could chalk that win up to weather and sloppiness and things like that. So there was a part of me that was hesitant to crown this team any sort of turnaround, any sort of shift, because then they played hard fought against Indiana, but Indiana is such a unit that there's not that much you can do about it. But boy, oh boy, what I saw last week in this team rising to the occasion, really having a full circle moment, right? Because this Illinois team, last time Brett Bielema and Illinois Fighting Illini were in Camp Randall, hammered Paul Chryst and this Wisconsin Badger team, and it changed the program forever. Fired, 2 days later, the next day even. And this whole domino of leading us to this moment happened there. And I was nothing short of impressed with how physical this team was, how much fight is still in this team and these players. That's coaching staff and that's players, right? I know that I've been critical of Coach Fickell, and that is from my heart of wanting support and wanting the best of this program. And not only have the players risen to the occasion, but the coaching staff has as well. We've seen shifts. We've seen changes. And Murthy, you sent this to us that, he is going and trying to basically hire somebody out who can build relationships with former players and with coaches. He's hung up the team vest, TEAM vest. I think almost like last week, they had a realization that, why are we running this quarterback throwing centric offense? Let's just run the ball. Let's just hammer them. And that's exactly what they did. So one reason is this team excites me. It looks a little bit more like traditional Badger football. And I'm kind of self-scouting for 2026. Who will be the people in this critical next year that will be the foundation of this team? So that's point 1. And point 2, I'll make it a little bit quicker than I made my point 1. This is the Axe game, baby. This is Minnesota. This is our biggest rival. There's no matter what, even when we were cooking, and we were, on our way to a Big Ten championship game, this game always meant more. It's the Axe. It's Minnesota. It's bragging rights. Maybe I took for granted the 14 or 18 game winning streak, whatever it was, that we had them kind of in the mid to thousands to the 2010s. But boy, this game is now competitive. It's fun. And no matter what the records are, this game always packs juice. And I love this game.
Mertzy, do you match that excitement level for Brad Nortman heading into the regular season finale this afternoon, Wisconsin and Minnesota?
I do. And what was hitting me in my stomach, and it's interesting, Brad felt the same way. I'll backtrack one bit. If the Badgers had not won these last 2 games against the ranked opponents, I still, even at their lowest depths, was like, if they can figure out a way to win the Axe game, it will give people some level of satisfaction going into the offseason. And I still felt like that, even when they're scoring nothing. You're like, maybe something can come together between now and then, because Minnesota has not been great shakes this year. Solid, but unspectacular. So, I always had this one a little bit in the back of my mind, but the feeling that I have in my gut today is like that actual nervousness of an actual game about to be played. And I haven't had that since who knows when. I mean, seriously, you're going back to there hasn't been a single game this year because Miami, that was a sure win in my mind. And if it wasn't, there would have been problems. Middle Tennessee, even more assured. And then after that, you just knew they weren't going to have a chance against Alabama. I think the Maryland game, you went in thinking that this was still a competition, and you're still like trying to project out what the matchups are in this game. How do the Badgers fare here? What do they have to stop? What do they have to defend? Everything was out the window since then. It's like we haven't even been able to really prognosticate about the game itself. It was more about this internal gut check on where the program has been at. This feels like an actual football game between two programs where there's going to be some chess matches and some plays here or there. They're going to decide the difference of the game. And so I'm feeling good about where the Badgers are at. I also feel like Fleck and Minnesota are going to bring it today. You're going to see a very good performance by them. They got humbled last week at Northwestern. And so this is going to be the hardest out of those three games. You're taking Washington and Illinois, going into Minnesota on this last game, and they know what's coming. They've seen you develop your offense to the extent that it's developed. They're going to be ready. They're going to be ready for this.
It's interesting to look at how these two teams have trended in the month of November. They're almost total opposites. Minnesota has dropped 3 of their last 4, including losses to Iowa, Oregon, and Northwestern. And their only win they don't even feel that good about because it was against Michigan State, and it took overtime for the Gophers to beat Michigan State, who is not good at all this season. Wisconsin, on the other hand, has won 2 of 3, and the one loss was to Indiana, which everybody felt pretty good about because they hung tough with the Hoosiers until the second half when things started to get away and Indiana pulled away. So Wisconsin definitely has the momentum if you look at both of the programs and what their last month has looked like heading into this game. And it's crazy to think, guys, that if Wisconsin would win today, they are 2.5-point underdogs currently on the road at Minnesota. If they are to win today, they would finish with an identical 5-7 record that they finished last season with. And after all we've been through this season, the roller coaster of fire Fickell chants, go boo in a bar, spoiled rotten fans, fourth-string quarterbacks and running backs and offensive linemen, we would actually probably feel better about where Wisconsin football ends this season than we did a year ago if Wisconsin were to win this game today. Do you agree?
I do agree. And I think that I would have not agreed to that before the season. But in retrospect, yes, the schedule is very, very hard, right? So there is something to be said about the gauntlet that they had to go through this year. But, it seemed like the juice and the gut check that this program went through and then was able to, build off of these last couple of weeks. Haven't seen that since the launch, right? Since like the pregame of the very first game. And I just think about how many, I always like to judge a team or even a person or an organization by, responding to challenges, right? Negativity, whatever it is. And they obviously did that when this whole fire Fickell and all of this, I felt like was well-founded, right? The program is in such a bad place. So middle of the season, they did that. But the one challenge last year that they didn't rise to was Iowa, right? Iowa, they got embarrassed. That's a rival. And they didn't rise to the occasion this year to be able to right that wrong. They have the opportunity to do that this year because let's not forget that last year, Minnesota humbled and embarrassed the Wisconsin Badgers as well, which kind of left us with this taste, almost like dry powder ready to explode because we're like, man, last season ended so badly. You have a full off season of like angst and anger and almost dissatisfaction with how the end of the season went. And then that led into a season that was mostly disappointing until the very end. So you have the ability to right that wrong today with any type of victory, right? I mean, long gone are the days of, let's beat them by double digits. Let's just get the victory and feel good about maybe some momentum in the transfer portal. Maybe there's a guy on the team right now that's 50-50. They're wondering, I have no idea what our young superstars are thinking, Catalano and Posa and Atuka and whoever, Carter Smith. But maybe they're 50-50 and maybe a convincing win and some juice. Maybe that's enough to say, you know what, I do want to be a Badger. I want to see this through. An embarrassing losses, maybe all of that was fake. So I think these are kids now and they can think about those things in the moment, maybe lean in at decision making. And then finally, this game is meaningful and it's winnable. I think that's why it's so exciting. Meaningful because it's the Axe and how you end the season, and it's winnable. That's why I wasn't super excited for Ohio State. Didn't really feel winnable. This feels very winnable, and that gets my, as Mertzy said, some butterflies in my stomach.
Adam Mertz, the roller coaster of the season. Would you feel better about this season after it's all said and done if Wisconsin were to get a win today?
I'll go as far as to say that I feel better now, because the thing that disappointed me the most last year was quit. They quit. They stopped playing football. There was no heart. There was no game plan from the coaches. Like, this thing just fell apart on itself, and you're wondering, how is this sustainable? At this point, they've shown enough to say, like, okay, there's something there inside this program that I didn't see last year. And so I feel a lot better about it as it is. I'm not saying that it's a success, and I'm really wary about, I've seen a lot of this recalibration of expectations of the program. Hey, you're the one who put yourself in a hole. Good for you for getting out of it, but this is not like a sign of the resurgence of the Wisconsin program yet. They've got a long ways to go in terms of that. This is what we were expecting from day one out of this program with Luke Fickell, a team that had a lot of heart, spirit, hit hard, played smart, did the right things, and eventually grew into a team that could compete for championships, as we were told by the people who hired and Luke Fickell himself. So let's not pretend that finishing 5-7 after a really difficult campaign is a sign of success. That is, you guys did enough to give me some hope that you can put some more money into this program, retool, continue to grow into that Jeff Grimes offense, keep some of those really young guys on your payroll, as Brad was pointing out. At this point, maybe attract some people who saw what you did and said, hey, I actually like where this team is headed at this point. We've got a young crew. I want to be a part of that. But that's where I'm at this point. The win over Minnesota, I think, would be incredible in terms of local, regional recruiting. And I think it's very needed from that respect. So I'm not going to minimize it. But if you're talking about the big picture, I already feel better.
Can you believe that this is where we're at the end of this season? For what the back-to-back shutouts, not being able to score any points, where we were at talking about firing the coach and the athletic director and everything that we've been through this season, and now before we even kick off the final game against Minnesota, we're all saying, and we're in agreement, this season was better. We feel pretty good about where this program is compared to last year. I can't believe the turnaround that the last 3 to 4 weeks has presented for Wisconsin fans and for the program and for the team and the head coach and the athletic director and everybody since Chris McIntosh came out in his support of Luke Fickell. It has totally turned this entire operation around. It's wild.
It is remarkable. I would have never expected it. I think that you said, Mertzy, a team that quit, a team that has no interest in playing Wisconsin football. I was seeing that most of the year. This is one of the more astounding turnarounds, if you want to even call it that I have seen in recent memory.
And it ends up being for a team that isn't even going to reach a bowl game. But to say that statement from a former player of the team, that is a credit to the job that the coach has done and that the players have done executing the game plan out on the field. You guys have talked on it plenty here in these opening segment. It's been remarkable to see what this has looked like and how the identity of the football team has come to form over the last month, even in a loss against Indiana. You just feel so much better about what this team has looked like. Last week was kind of the exclamation point on that, beating Brett Bielema at Camp Randall on senior night. A ranked opponent goes down. The fans rush the field for a second time in as many home games. And now a chance to reclaim the Axe on the road in Minneapolis today. Wisconsin and Minnesota coming up 2:30 kickoff this afternoon. We got plenty more to talk about, including our promise to you, whether we're at home or all together or at a local establishment. We make our game predictions in the second segment of the show. That is coming up next here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. We are brought to you in part by Starion Bank, and normally when we're out on Regent Street, we're broadcasting from the Starion Bank broadcast booth. I don't know how many Starion Bank broadcast booths we have to do the shows from our respective homes today, but we can say, sure, we're in our Starion Bank broadcast booths, wherever we may be. Experience a banking relationship where your goals are their priority. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, Starion Bank redefines local banking in the Madison area. Visit one of their convenient branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie or Monona. So the copy says visit them today. Don't visit them today. I'm going to make that proclamation. Don't visit Starry on Bank today. They're closed. The weather stinks today. Stay home today. Visit them on Monday or any other day. Check them out. Or maybe a great day to visit them online at starryonbank.com. Starry on Bank. Appreciate their support of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day all season long as we've broadcasted from Regent Street and from respective establishments all around the Madison area from our Starry on Bank broadcast booth. Our official game predictions for the battle for Paul Bunyan's Axe, Wisconsin and Minnesota, next on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Your family's safety is your responsibility, and it starts with a solid roof. When the next storm rips through and takes some of your shingles with it, call Badgerland Exteriors. Or looking to replace your whole roof but don't want to break the bank? Let the team at Badgerland Exteriors give you a free, no obligations estimate.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit badgerlandexteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's badgerlandexteriors.com.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
'Tis the season to be planning your holiday events. Whether it's a party for 10 or 10,000, Celebrations has the sound, video, lighting, special effects, and custom-themed decor to make it the best party ever. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With us on your team, your holiday or New Year's party will be easy to plan and super fun to attend. DJs, casino games, lighting, and photo booths are just the beginning at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
ESPN Madison is your home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Back to the Badgers, right side. There's Alicia Andrew finishing the first set on the slide.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title, hear every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Left side, Collier, a no-doubter, and she gets another one.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is presented by Steinhoffels and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also brought to you by Love Madison and Smith Roofing.
What's new at Zimbrick Chevrolet? A lot. A free car wash with every service, plus a brand new detail facility to keep your ride looking fresh all year long. Relax with coffee and snacks while you wait, and if you can't, grab one of their numerous service loaners, take the shuttle, or even get a lift on them. Plus, Zimbrick Chevrolet has the largest new Chevrolet inventory in southern Wisconsin, and you'll never overpay at Zimbrick Chevrolet. Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. You know that honeydew list that's been sitting on your counter since what, 2020? Yeah, we can handle that. From leaky faucets to light fixtures, our handyman team at Bruner Realty fixes it all. Fast, friendly, and done right the first time. We take care of it so you don't have to. Visit fixedbybruner.com. That's fixedbybruner.com. Because your to-do list deserves a happy ending.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
With my double-blade axe and my hobnail boots, I go where the timber's tall. When there's work to be done, don't mess around, just sing right out for Paul. Hey, Paul! I'm coming, boys. Paul Bunyan. Paul Bunyan. He's 63, axe handles high, with his feet on the ground and his head in the sky. Hey,
Well, Paul Bunyan bringing us back in here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Brewed by Coors Light. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz, former Badgers punter Brad Nortman. We are from our respective homes, and our own Paul Bunyan is in the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison. That's Riley Yauk. He hosts the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show as well. So, Riley, let's put you back on camera here, and let's let everybody know why you are dressed like Paul Bunyan today here on our pregame show for Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Yeah, so I'm dressed like Paul Bunyan because, unfortunately, I suck at picking games across college football, and this is our punishment for today, is me dressing like Paul Bunyan. I wish I brought an axe. I wish I had a small miniature version of Babe the Blue Ox. Fake beard, maybe, but unfortunately, beggars can't be choosers, and I was able to throw this together today. So
I gotta admit, and in full transparency, I hoped that we would have been out at one of our respective local establishments for our shows today. That would have had a better impact.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the years we have the pregame show at our tailgate, this would have a great impact. You kind of half-heartedly put the Paul Bunyan costume together. I got it. There's no beard. You don't have an axe. How are you, Paul?
I thought suspenders were needed.
See, I was trying to find suspenders. I went Black Friday shopping yesterday. I was looking. I asked my mom. Apparently, we didn't have black suspenders. Asked my roommates. They didn't have black suspenders. We did have a real axe at home, but I figured there was still a chance we were going to a local establishment. So I was like, I don't think I can bring a real axe.
You just look like anyone from northern Wisconsin out at a bar at any given night.
That's possible. I mean, I got the boots on right now, too. I mean, you can't see the boots, but I'm wearing boots. I went as hard as I possibly could, but I knew that would be a critique, which is why I wanted to go as all out as possible. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out quite as I'd hoped.
Riley didn't shave all week for this, too.
Yeah, exactly. Can't you see the scruff?
You look like Paul Bunyan Jr.
Yeah, Paul Bunyan's nephew, who's going to an apple orchard for Saturday afternoon.
I have seen you on Instagram. I have seen you on Instagram in a pumpkin patch the entire month of October. That's very accurate. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day is brought to you in part by Pepsi. Enjoy Pepsi, proud partner of the Wisconsin Badgers. Get game day ready with Pepsi, the taste that scores every time. Try Pepsi Zero Sugar, the perfect drink for your tailgate, and as a tasty mixer on Wisconsin. Pepsi, proud partner of the Wisconsin Badgers. I will say this, brought a 2-liter of Pepsi to our family Thanksgiving on Thursday afternoon, and the kids loved having the Pepsi on at Thanksgiving Day. So it was a great addition to our Thanksgiving Day. It's a great addition to your game day. We thank Pepsi being a proud partner of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day all throughout this 2025 season and every season that they have been with us. Without further ado, Wisconsin, Minnesota, the battle for the axe. Paul, let's play it. Let's get to our game picks.
Will we be jumping around?
Big win for Luke Fickell and Wisconsin.
Or will it be heartbreak for the Badgers?
Feel bad for the Badgers. They gave it their all. One too many mistakes.
It's time to make our picks on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
So I know the line has shifted a little bit throughout the course of this week. The latest line that I see is 2.5. Wisconsin, a 2.5-point underdog on the road against the rival Minnesota Golden Gophers. Badgers won the last time these teams met in Minneapolis. Minnesota, of course, won on Black Friday last year to close out a devastating 2024 season for the Wisconsin Badgers. Adam Mertz, you have the floor first for our game picks for Wisconsin and Minnesota today.
Yeah, as I was saying in the opening segment, this actually feels like a real game. We're going in and giving our analysis, and we'll be talking throughout the show about specific matchups, specific players to watch. These are two teams that it should be a very competitive game. I look back at Minnesota's season on the whole, and their games, they're undefeated at home, number one. If they went out today, first time since 1967 that they have an undefeated home slate. But the teams that they've beaten at home are a combined 23-47. And they're all like there's a fair number of middling teams in their 5-win teams. There's Rutgers. It's Purdue is in that mix. The one win that they had that remember catching my eye was Nebraska. They did catch Nebraska at home when Nebraska was ranked. Otherwise, you're looking at a team that's lost 42-3 at Ohio State, 41-3 at Iowa, 42-13 at Oregon. This is not a team that's competitive against upper echelon talent. So I do think that this game is very much in play for the Badgers. I have Wisconsin winning this game 20-13. I do think it's going to take another effort like last week where it was just discipline in all three phases, guys making plays at opportune times, and that pass rush continuing to just absolutely disrupt anything that Minnesota wants to do offensively.
All right, Mertzy predicts a victory. Brad Nortman, we go to you.
I am going with Wisconsin 17, Minnesota 14. So the Badgers are going to get their victory. They're going to take back the Axe. I'm going to feel darn good about it. And I think you're right, Mertzy. I mean, as we look out the window and I see just snow continuing to fall, that's what's happening in Minneapolis too. Not quite to the degree it's happening down here in Wisconsin, but it is snowing. It's in the 20s. What that's going to do is it's going to make it a defensive slugfest. I feel like this Wisconsin team is built for that. I think that Minnesota also knows that to beat this team, all you got to do is load the box, make Carter Smith throw the ball, which is going to be exceedingly hard to do. I don't think there's going to be a ton of possessions. I think this clock is going to run. I think both teams are going to try to establish the run, and things can get slippery. It can get weird. I mean, catching blocks. I mean, games like this are strange. I just do think that Wisconsin, and go back to Minnesota. This is the type of Minnesota team that's just like a classic Big Ten West Minnesota team that's mid-level for their program. They're going to make a bowl game. If Wisconsin was the Wisconsin that we would know and love from the past, not even like a Big Ten championship Wisconsin team, they win by 20, right? I mean, they win by 14-20. Maybe it's closer because it is such a feisty rivalry, but this is normally a team that Wisconsin would beat handedly. So they will be prepared, though. The Minnesota does not like Wisconsin, probably more than Wisconsin doesn't like Minnesota. So I do think that it's going to be intense. But the other thing I'm looking at is the mentality of Wisconsin going into this game with no bowl game to finish out. And Minnesota does have a bowl game to finish the season. So there is a empty the tank, take everything out of the toolbox for Wisconsin. And for Minnesota, it's an important rivalry and a game you want to win. And it'll start to maybe slot them for bowl games, but they know in their hearts this is not the last game. The season will go on. I feel like for the team that has nothing to lose, like the Wisconsin Badgers, they come out a little bit more feisty, a little bit more angry, use the momentum, continue to establish the run and identity. And Coach Fickell knows how important this game is. All the players do too. If you're a player that I think a lot of these young guys are that has a heartbeat for Wisconsin football, you know how important this is. You know how critical it is for building into 2026. So I have Wisconsin doing just enough to win. I think that their defense is suffocating on the Minnesota run game. I think that we run the ball enough and control the ball enough to be able to pull out a 17-14 victory and chop down the goalposts, which is such a fun thing to do when you're a senior.
That was emphatic. I love that. Seen our fair share. We've seen our fair share. It would have been much better in person, I got to admit. It looks like you're just doing this.
It's a blur. Like a lightsaber.
Wielding a sword more than anything, yeah. We've seen our fair share of snow games over the years for the Badgers, but not, I don't think, to the extent that we're going to see today. Like that game against Minnesota where the Big Ten West title was on the line, College Game Day was there a handful of years ago. Like that was probably the biggest snow game I remember watching. Of course, Melvin Gordon's 408 in the snow flying at Camp Randall, but that wasn't the kind of snow that's going to stick the way that it is here today in Minneapolis like it is around the state of Wisconsin. I've also, on the ESPN app, I've pulled up a bunch of the D3 playoff games that are going on around the state. Lacrosse, Whitewater. Oh my God. You should see what the refs have these thick black hats, and there's just snow building up on them. It's hilarious watching these games taking place around the state today. So we'll see if it ends up looking like that in Minneapolis today as well. I'm on the same page with you guys. Low scoring, run the football. Wisconsin's proven against better opponents than Minnesota in the last month that they can do that. They've actually had some consistency on the offensive line. Even with Gideon Atuka out, Dupree had the massive run last week that helped burst things open for Wisconsin. It's because they stuck with the run, even when Dupree wasn't lighting up the box score for the first couple of quarters in that game last week. Carter Smith's mobility has been a big factor for the offense, and it's been great to see how Jeff Grimes has drawn that up offensively for the last few weeks for Wisconsin to manage possessions. Even against Indiana, who has a great defense, the Badgers were able in that first half to sustain some longer drives, get deep into Indiana territory, and burn some clock. I would expect that they're going to be able to do the same today, and I think especially with some of those receivers coming around on those reverse plays we saw, those work better last week than we've seen throughout the course of the last couple of years. I've got Wisconsin in a closer game than Mertz predicts, 20-16. 20-16. I've got Wisconsin winning the battle for the Axe today. So that's 3 for 3. Let's go to, and I believe I have this quote right. He said it moments ago. I am bad at picking college football games. Riley Yauk, our post-game show host, you have the final pick of our pregame show season here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day for the Wisconsin-Minnesota game today.
Well, I'm flattered you're allowing me to go last. And I will say, do I suck at picking games across the greater expanse of college football? Yes, that is proven. However, last week, I believe I was the only person on this panel to pick the Badgers, and they ended up taking care of business. It was actually the first time this season where I picked the Badgers when you guys didn't, and it worked for me. So we're going to ride with that again. I think it's not going to be close today. Obviously, Minnesota, they're going to come out fired up. PJ Fleck knows how to face the Wisconsin Badgers. He knows how to coach against the Wisconsin Badgers, but they're sliding at the wrong time, and the Badgers are peaking at the right time. And did it come far too late in the season? Yes. However, I talked to Vinny Anthony on Tuesday, and I asked him what was different against Illinois. Why did the offense click so well in that game? And he said it was pretty simple. Everyone just executed on a higher level. Everyone was a little more dialed in for Minnesota, and they did exactly what the coaches wanted them to do throughout the entirety of the game. And I feel like they're going to be so dialed in for this game against Minnesota. They want that Axe back badly. Same conversation with Vinny Anthony. You could just sense like there is an angst looking at that empty trophy case this week. And I believe they are going to just be like dogs let off the chain today against the Gophers, especially that defense just going to be hounding Drake Lindsey. And that's the thing. Carter Smith, he struggles throwing the football today, sure, but he can use his legs. Drake Lindsey is a pocket passer. He is not a threat to run whatsoever. So I think Wisconsin's defense is going to feast. I think they're going to cause multiple turnovers, and this game is over late in the second quarter. Badgers big time, 38-7 over the Gophers today. They're chopping the axe, chopping the goalpost down at Huntington Bank Stadium, and maybe if 12 more teams lose today, we're going bowling in Detroit. We'll see. But that's how I'm feeling about the game today.
38-7. You think a freshman quarterback from Florida in the snow is going to help put up 38 points today?
Carter Smith rises to the occasion in the big moments, and you will see that on display today.
Or, okay, well, I mean, those are our game picks. We're going to spend plenty more time talking about them throughout the rest of the show. Wisconsin and Minnesota, the battle for the Axe coming up here this afternoon. You look outside right now, and I know exactly what you're thinking. Let's go golf. TPC Wisconsin, for a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. This read made a lot more sense when I read it for the first game in late August. But I will tell you this, this is a great deal to take advantage of at TPC Wisconsin right now. Pay just $150 a month through March with no golf dues until April 1st. They've got the indoor practice facility. They've got great amenities for you to take advantage of all winter long. Submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience that you deserve at TPC Wisconsin. All summer we were out there for the American Family Insurance Championship, the ESPN Madison Open, the Vibes Golf Outing, so many great events happening at TPC Wisconsin. It's a state-of-the-art course. You would love it if you haven't been there yet. Make sure you check it out at some point, and you can even get over there in the winter and enjoy the tennis courts indoors, the range, all the things that they have to offer over at TPC Wisconsin. We thank them being part of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day all season long. Coming up next, we will talk more about the rivalry, the battle for the Axe, some of Brad Nortman's fondest memories from competing in this game, and some of Adam Mertz's favorite events from covering it over the last handful of decades. That's straight ahead on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
We love the Packers. We bleed green and gold. And every time our team takes the field, well, it's pure football bliss. If only there was a way to experience that blissful winning feeling every day. At Associated Bank, we've got you with 10% off Lambeau concessions and 15% off Pro Shop merch. All when you get Packers checking from Associated Bank. It's how Packers fans keep winning on game day and every day. Associated Bank, Bank of the Packers. Learn more at associatedbank.com/Packers. Member FDIC.
Start your career where the road to success is paved in coffee. At Dunkin' Donuts, we're now hiring crew members and hourly shift leaders at our locally owned locations. Dunkin' offers flexible schedules, employee discounts, health and dental benefits, and paid time off. Plus, bolster your resume with our own leadership training program and even scholarship opportunities. Up to $1,500 per semester. Text Team Spirit to 85000 or visit teamtmart.com/careers to apply. Dunkin', America runs on you.
There's a lot to be thankful for this season at Metro Ford of Madison. Get the 2025 Ford F-150 STX, now available with 2.9% APR for 66 months. That's just $16.64 per $1,000 finance. Or if leasing's your style, drive home the F-150 STX for just $299 a month with $3,859 due at signing for 36 months. Don't wait. These thankful offers end December 1st. Find your next Ford today at MetroFordofMadison.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Want to pay off this year's renter mortgage? Feel like a real estate mogul at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison during November's Live for Free promotion. Starting at 4 p.m. on Saturday, November 29th, 24 winners will each spin the wheel for a cash prize of up to $5,000. Then at 8 p.m., one grand prize winner will pocket $25,000 in cash to use toward their rental mortgage. This could be your chance, but you have to be here. Live it up this November and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
Steinhaffel's biggest Black Friday sale is happening now. Save 10% store-wide and get $50 instant cash back for every $4.99 you spend. Plus, get a $200 MasterCard rewards card when you use your Steinhaffel's credit card. And get amazing doorbusters like recliners at $229 and sofas just $299. Plus, buy a premium mattress and get free premier delivery on everything. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Want to pay off this year's rent or mortgage? Feel like a real estate mogul at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison during November's Live for Free promotion. Starting at 4 p.m. on Saturday, November 29th, 24 winners will each spin the wheel for a cash prize of up to $5,000. Then at 8 p.m., one grand prize winner will pocket $25,000 in cash to use toward their rent or mortgage. This could be your chance, but you have to be here. Live it up this November and go to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
We're on the Badgers.
This is where probably the program mindset has to change.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
What we probably have to do is ante up for unproven and bet on future success, not on past.
This is 100.5 ESPN.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light from our respective homes. Jesse Nelson, Brad Nortman, Adam Mertz, and producer Riley Auk in the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison. We're brought to you in part by Canopy Wealth Management, where they carry a long-standing tradition of working in the best interest of their clients every day. The team at Canopy emphasizes building local relationships and believes that values matter and strengthen their communities. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity isn't just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. We thank Canopy Wealth Management for being part of our ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day pregame and postgame shows all season long. Great partner of us here at ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, which is brewed by Coors Light. And we get set for a few Coors Lights, hopefully this afternoon, in celebration for a Wisconsin win. How great it would be to win 3 of 4 to close out the season here in the month of November, including 2 top 25 wins already and a potential rivalry victory in the battle for Paul Bunyan's axe this afternoon. Wisconsin and Minnesota in snowy Minneapolis. Brad Nortman, you played in this game a number of times. Of the games you played in, what is your fondest memory of the Wisconsin-Minnesota rivalry?
Well, I was lucky to be a part of 4 straight victories. So from my freshman year through senior year, part of that 14-ish game winning streak. The first 2 times as a freshman and sophomore, again, we were 7-6 my freshman year. What we all believe to be the lowest possible record the Wisconsin Badgers could ever have, and we've since fallen through that. But that year, and then the year we went to the Champs Bowl, we got 10 wins. Fairly close games, and they had some good teams, right? This was like I'm blank, Eric Decker, a decent quarterback too. They had some good players on those teams. Those were good Gopher teams that won 8-9 games as well. So, and then in my final 2 years, our team was so good we hammered them. A couple of things jump out when I think about this game, this series. One, I think of the trophy case that's sitting in the locker room. They've rearranged and remodeled the locker rooms since I've been there, but the trophy cases are still front and center, and it's still valued and of importance. And I remember seeing the Iowa trophy come and go, right? Because we lost to them, we beat them, all that kind of stuff. The Axe never left. If that trophy case was empty, I could not imagine the void that the players would feel. I know me as a Wisconsin homegrown kid, knowing what this rivalry means, if that was an empty case, knowing that that is sitting in the Gopher locker room, I'd be sick. I'd be absolutely sick. All week long, whenever we played them, the Axe would go with us wherever we went. It would go to practice. It would go to training table. You carry it with you wherever you go. I remember senior year, seniors have a little bit more access to it. Again, it's different. You were there your whole time. And I know there's a handful of seniors that are like that as well. But you had more access to it. You could hold it at practice. I remember me and the other specialists brought it onto the bus. And it's just, it's part of your rhythm for that week. And then when you win as a senior, specifically as a senior, everybody has their moment in the sun with it, right? I remember we won in Minneapolis was my senior year. And, it's like 75-25 Gopher Badger fans. So then the 25% Badger fans would kind of flood down to the first couple of rows, and you sort of take it around the stadium and everyone's hitting it as they go. You chop down the field goal post to end it, and then you hand it off to the next guy. It's one of those memories that you just know you're a part of something special. I think that there's so many programs in college football that they just don't have anything like this, right? And this is obviously the longest standing football rivalry in the history of college football, and that won't change because they will keep on playing every single year. So that's not going away. And you're very aware of the gravity of this rivalry, of Paul Bunyan's axe, of the history, and you could just feel it. I remember my very first punt as a true freshman when it was at Camp Randall. What do you know? It was a backed up punt, all out punt block from Minnesota. That doesn't happen all the time, right? There's a little bit more like brotherly, not even brotherly, adversary hate for one another. And I do believe, and this is no like disrespect toward Minnesota, I think the Gophers dislike Wisconsin more than Wisconsin dislikes Minnesota. And I think you can feel that on the field. I think you can feel that in the tone of the game. And a lot of that's part of that. If we went on a 14-game losing streak, I'm sure we would have a certain level of disdain for them too. It's kind of, and for the longest time, Wisconsin was sort of tier here and Minnesota was tier here. Now it's sort of come more like this. So I know that like when I was playing, if I was Wisconsin, this was like Ohio State and all those. I mean, I had a certain level of hatred for them that they didn't have for us at Wisconsin. So I think that's natural. So when I think of this game, I think of the trophy case, I think of the axe, and I think of the chopping down, and I think of that just gut punch feeling when you lose a trophy. And we lost once, at least, maybe twice, to Iowa. That feeling stinks. It's a terrible feeling. It's 10 times that if you lose the axe, which this team has experienced now last year. And they went and took it back from you on your home field. So I have nothing but smiles thinking about it. I have nothing but excitement thinking about it because this is another game where, you play all these games and, Wisconsin plays Indiana at the time. Bad example because Indiana's a unit now. But you'd be like, there's a level of excitement, but I'll probably punt 3 times and we'll probably beat them by 30. And even the close games, you didn't have as much nerves. You get used to the stage. Boy, I had nerves for Minnesota every time we played them. Even when we were heavy favorites, I had nerves just because I was aware of what was at stake and the importance of it and how particularly Wisconsin fans feel about it. So that's maybe why I have nerves for this game. I'm reverting back to player brain, and it just gets me excited.
I love hearing the perspective. I think that's awesome to hear how you felt going into those games and obviously reliving some of those memories here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. That's Brad Norman. Adam Mertz, your fondest memories, or maybe on the other side of things from covering Wisconsin and Minnesota over the last handful of decades.
Yeah, I want to tack on quickly to what Brad was saying too, because you think about most trophies that are awarded, they put out a stage at midfield. The conference commissioner comes out. There's this white glove experience, very formal, very solemn proceedings. Man, it's a mad dash across the field. And when the other team has the axe, you're splitting their sideline to go and grab the axe. That hurts if you're the one who's losing it. And I can't imagine how good that feels if you're like, we're going into their side of the field to grab it. It's really amazing. I'll say this, everyone knows how I feel about PJ Fleck and his carnival barker attitude and approach to the game, but he made the most out of that when they won it back. Remember, he took that axe around the entire state of Minnesota, everywhere he went with them to show it off to people. And, credit to him for making this a rivalry again and that program for building it up because it was a joke for the longest time, 14 straight wins. That doesn't happen among programs that have more or less been historical equal. So it's pretty cool that this is a thing again. I think that the two games that stood out the most to me when I look back, and there are some recent examples that are great, like we talked about, closing out 2017 with an undefeated record, 12-0 record, 2019 winning the Big Ten West. Number one that comes to people's mind who've been around for a long time is the Jonathan Casillas punt block and recovery by Ben Strickland in the end zone in 2004. Yep. Ridiculous. Like a game that I actually was not watching that one most of the game. I was listening to it because I was so depressed. Badgers were getting run over the entire game. We're trailing until really late. It was fait accompli. Game was going to be over, and this mad series of events unfolds, including an onside kick that bounced all the way to the 10-yard line to set up this punt from the end zone. So that was by far the biggest most unexpected win of that Barry Alvarez coaching era in terms of probability, late game probability. The one that maybe that slips people's mind a little bit is 1999, which was a Rose Bowl season for this program. Barry Alvarez had significant knee issues and was going to get a knee replacement. He was went up to Mayo Clinic, and he had an infection in his knee. They weren't able to do the replacement right away. He winds up essentially coaching from the Mayo Clinic against the Gophers in the Metrodome. And, you can imagine what that wing of the Mayo Clinic was like. It was not quiet hours, I don't think. And Vitaly Pisetsky kicks a field goal to win the game and make sure that the Badgers stayed on track for Pasadena. I think that's just one of those you're like, wait, did that really happen? When you're looking back at this, and he coached 7 of the final 8 games that season from the press box. So you're like, wow, that is something for the history books.
I'll have to ask Coach Alvarez about that on our next edition of the Barry Alvarez Show coming up Monday night at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Man, that's awesome. Wisconsin and Minnesota, the border battle, the battle for Paul Bunyan's axe, whatever you want to call it, it is back on a little over an hour from now. Kickoff in Minneapolis for Wisconsin and Minnesota. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz, former Badger Brad Nortman, and we are brought to you in part by Celebrations Entertainment. With Celebrations Entertainment, planning events has never been easier. They have complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more fun. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Celebrations Entertainment, fun, memorable events. All season long on Regent Street with the big screen TV with all the best games from around the country on them, or any other events that we have. Celebrations Entertainment. Jeffrey and the entire team are absolutely fantastic to work with. We've seen Jeffrey in action for events that we're not even part of around the greater Madison area because they're just so good. Everybody goes with Celebrations Entertainment. You should as well, and we thank Celebrations Entertainment for their support all season of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Coming up next, Riley Alk will give us a scoreboard update for some of the big games going on around college football, including the game. Ohio State with his hands full again with Michigan this afternoon. We'll talk plenty about that and continue to get you set for Wisconsin and Minnesota coming your way next on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Guys, don't propose with a ring that she didn't pick out. Trust us, she already has a ring in mind. So engage with Gage Diamonds, in person or online, where Gage's skilled ring designers will work with her to create the perfect setting, matched with the perfect stone. Gage specializes in exquisite lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
When it's game day in Madison, you know what that means. Pizza Hut time. Unlimited large one-topping pizzas, just $7.99 each. Or your team at home can load them up with 3 toppings for $9.99. Perfect for kickoffs, watch parties, or that fourth quarter comeback from your living room. Fuel your crew, fill the table, and keep the good times rolling all game long with Pizza Hut. Order now for delivery or carryout at pizzahut.com or on the app. Pizza Hut, feed good times.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Looking for something fun to do this winter? Get your friends together and join MSCR on the courts. Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Madison School and Community Recreation's adult winter volleyball and basketball leagues are open for registration now. Men's, women's, and all gender leagues are forming, with games starting in early January at gyms all around Madison. MSCR leagues are all about community, connection, and having a great time, no matter your skill level. Sign up today at mscrsportsleagues.org. That's mscrsportsleagues.org.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
I think Matt LaFleur and both Jordan Love are good. I don't know if they're the guys that are going to be the ones that win you a Super Bowl.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
Does he have the it? The quarterback who says, we're not losing this game because I'm going to make sure of it?
Live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also available on the ESPN Wisconsin app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Game day starts on Regent Street. Fuel up before every Wisconsin football home game at the Monster Energy tent. Grab free samples, snag some Monster gear, and get your energy up before kickoff. The best football pregame start with Monster Energy.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
From LA to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
Good afternoon, Wisconsin. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Metro Ford of Madison scoreboard update. Starting in Ann Arbor, Michigan, the game. Ohio State came into this one with 0 active players on their roster who had beaten the Wolverines. Right now in pole position to have 53 after today. They lead Michigan 24-9 with 7.5 minutes to play in quarter number 3. We'll see if Ryan Day chokes this. That would be hilarious. Texas Tech, West Virginia, the Red Raiders up 35-0, solidifying their Big 12 championship bid. Miami ensuring that no chaos ensues in the ACC, doing their part. They're up 30-7 over 22nd ranked Pitt. BYU was trailing UCF 14-0 in the first half. Now, as we approach the end of the second quarter, the Cougars have tied it up at 14 apiece and are deep in Knights territory. Some earlier results from this weekend. Number 2, Indiana, clinching a berth in the Big Ten Championship, 56-3 against Indiana, and Texas upsetting Texas A&M 27-17.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. Jesse Nelson, Adam Mertz, former Badger Brad Norman from our respective homes as we count down to kickoff for Wisconsin and Minnesota. The border battle for Paul Bunyan's Axe coming up a little over an hour from right now in Minneapolis. So you heard Riley Yauk's scoreboard update. I also have some scores that I want to pass along for everybody here because I have done some research, mostly aided by tweets from Colton Bartholomew, who covers the Badgers, on Twitter, to be able to provide to you the list of scenarios that have to happen for Wisconsin to make a bowl game with a 5-7 record. It's pretty easy, guys. Wisconsin needs to beat Minnesota, and NC State needs to beat North Carolina. They're favored to do so this afternoon. And then we need 9 of 12 teams to win. Louisville over Kentucky, Houston over Baylor, Colorado, Kansas State, BYU over UCF, UTEP over Delaware, Louisiana Monroe over Louisiana, South Alabama over Texas State, San Antonio over Army, Florida over Florida State, Oregon State over Washington State, USF over Rice, and Alabama over Auburn. 9 of the 12. And we got this. Wisconsin gets an extra month of practice going to a bowl game. Now, in all honesty, right now, Colorado and Kansas State, Colorado is losing 14-7. BYU and UCF are tied, and Delaware is putting it on UTEP 31-14. Those don't look good. We got Louisville and Houston, they're taken care of, so we're good. So we're actually it's not a crazy scenario. A lot of the teams Wisconsin needs to win later are favored in those games. So it is possible that Wisconsin with a win today could somehow end up earning a berth in a bowl game. We talked about this on the Barry Alvarez show the other night about how awesome it is when Wisconsin fans travel, no matter what the destination is. I am sure that if Wisconsin were to be in the criteria of 5 and 7 teams eligible to play in a bowl game, that a bowl game would want Wisconsin there. And Wisconsin would want to play in that game with the freshmen that are involved heavily so much in this team in what they do over the last month. This would be a tremendous opportunity for the team to get an extra month of practice if somehow, magically, this were all to come to fruition with the results in play today. Guys, quick thoughts on if Wisconsin at 5 and 7 were somehow to be able to reach a bowl game, what that could mean. Brad, why don't we start with you as the former player?
Well, I never thought I'd be scoreboard watching Delaware and UTEP to figure out what the fates of Wisconsin football would look like. But here we are.
Big
boys.
San Antonio Army game later today. Keep your eyes peeled on that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Normally, sort of a highbrowed, this is below me type of Wisconsin mentality I would take on, where it's like, you'd be embarrassed to go to a 5 and 7 bowl game, or be 5 and 7 and go to a bowl game. And, you need to earn that and all those things. I don't know if it's a combination of missing out on a bowl game last year and having that 20-some year straight of going to a bowl game, that plus the idea that this team can get young players practicing and participating more. I would be all for it. This is a long, long way from the championship standard that we were promised under Mack and Fickell. So in no way do I want to say that this is an acceptable consolation to what this team should be striving for. However, I went to a bowl game all 4 years of mine. I couldn't imagine the season ending today. It's like the bowl season was a completely new season that you get to experience, right? You've got training camp, however you want to break up the season, right? By month, before bye, after bye, whatever. That was another bulk of season. And you had the bowl season. The idea of tonight being you're done and you're cleaning out your locker, figuratively speaking, it feels like you are missing out not only on work that can really help guys grow, another showcase to play on the field to grow as a team, but also just experientially as a young to go travel somewhere, spend more time with your teammates, play in a bowl. It's just it matters, and it would be so weird to think the season would be over today. I thought about that when at Wisconsin I would play other teams. You play Northwestern the last game of the season. You're going to the Rose Bowl, and they're done. I always thought that was the strangest thing, that these guys are warming up right next to me, and their season's over tonight. And we got a whole month ahead of us with big things on the horizon. I thought that was always so bizarre. So to me, I would be a serious proponent of gladly accepting any bowl that can take you. Again, not as a consolation for this is what we are accepting to be, but one, I want it for the players who've been through a lot. We've been through a lot this season. And you can continue to grow and develop for hopefully setting up what is a critical, pivotal 2026. That's where I'm at with it. I'm shocked I'm saying it. Normally, I would say you keep your pride and you turn that bowl game down. You would not on my watch would you do that. But nowadays, you know what? You take that bowl invite and you soak up all the benefits that you can that it allows you to have.
Mertzy, if it's the whatever they call the bowl in Detroit now, or the Hawaii Bowl, or the famous Idaho Potato Bowl in Boise, there'd be a lot of fun bowl games. That was I do think it would be valuable for this team in particular to get the extra month of practice. Would you sign up to be in that club?
Yeah, absolutely. And the one that always sticks in my head, and I don't know what it's called now, but it was the Poulin Weed Eater Bowl. It was in Shreveport, Louisiana. That was the one that I was like, man, I know Detroit gets a bad rap, but who wants to be in Shreveport around the holidays? I just don't want to be there. I agree, and I agree for all those same reasons. One, let's look at the trajectory of this season for this program. Like, they're feeling good about it. They would want to be there. If you put that last year's team into a bowl game, would you even have a full roster that would show up for that? Mm-hmm. That's a big topic in this day and age when the portal window is going to be open soon after that. Guys are going to preserve themselves. Guys are already making plans to move on. You'd had teams drop out last year. They were like, nope, can't play the bowl game because we don't have enough guys to pull this out. I think that Wisconsin would show up and would play hard and would play well. And I always feel like I feel like it's like a coach when you talk about the extra month of practice, because fans are mostly just concerned about what happens on that day of the bowl game. But it is truly so invaluable for developmental purposes for the younger guys, and this for a team that's still really trying to figure out what it's doing offensively under Jeff Grimes. He can probably work on concepts as much as anything, that you may or may not see a few wrinkles of in the bowl game, see what sticks. So I think there's a lot of fun that way. The other thing I'd mention too, just from like a fan standpoint, I really don't think there would be a horde of people following this team down to the bowl game. But I was reminded when I went out to the Oregon game, how fun it is to be in a different place with Badger fans. It's like this kinship and kindred that you go out and you just say hello to all those people because they're wearing the red, strike up some interesting conversations. It's just a blast. And it's been a long time since I've been in that bowl environment and remembered how much fun that was. So I think for the ones who go there, they would really get a kick out of it. And for the rest of us, you tell me you wouldn't tune in. You're going to tune in and at least watch what's going on, no matter what the game is, no matter what the opponent is. So I'm all for it.
I'll say this. My aunt lives. Oh, go ahead, Brad.
Really quick. You bring up an interesting point that I didn't think of. You've got probably an allotment of guys that are planning on transferring, right? It's inevitable. By playing in a bowl game, you might almost force a decision earlier, because if I'm planning on transferring, I'm not playing in the bowl game. I'm not risking getting hurt. I put enough on film. I'm going to go to the transfer portal. So it would be an interesting litmus test of who are the guys that actually play in the game. And that way, if they're playing on the field today, more than likely they're going to be here next year. So even more reason to get guys reps and get guys development. Never thought about that as far of a way to force the issue informally with guys that are willing to commit to the program, or the guys that are already thinking ahead to the transfer portal.
It's a great point, Brad and Mertzy. And I will say this. My aunt lives in Boise, and if Wisconsin were to play Western Michigan at 1:30 in the afternoon on some random Monday in December in the Idaho Potato Bowl, no one would cover that thing like I would, staying by Aunt Shelley. So let's hope that ends up being the case. That Wisconsin gets the opportunity to play in a bowl game.
Jesse, my aunt and uncle live there too, so we might just have to road trip together.
Oh, road trip! All right, take the train
show
to
on
Boise.
The road.
Yeah,
I got a former player who's one of my good buddies that lives in Boise. I played for the Panthers.
Okay.
Maybe this isn't our last show this season. Who knows? ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day brought to you in part by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Ditch the energy bill. Make the switch over to Everlight Solar, your local solar energy company based in Madison. Visit everlightsolar.com to learn more. Make the switch today. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics and a proud partner all season long of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Coming up next, we'll hear some of the best of what the former head coach Barry Alvarez had to say this week on a show that I host on Monday nights. You should tune in. It's the Barry Alvarez Show, the best of Barry. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Celebrate the season of Audi at Audi Madison.
Take advantage of 1.99% APR for 72 months when you purchase a 2025 Audi Q5 Quattro. National customer credit is good towards the purchase, finance, or lease of a new Audi, but is only available until December 1st. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Ho, ho, ho! If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Electric bills are out of control, but with federal incentives, you can go solar with zero upfront cost and start saving hundreds a month. Badgerland Exteriors and Solar is a local and family-owned company, and they make the switch to solar simple. No pressure, no hassle, just honest.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Want to pay off this year's rent-a-mortgage? Feel like a real estate mogul at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison during November's Live for Free promotion. Starting at 4 p.m. on Saturday, November 29th, 24 winners will each spin the wheel for a cash prize of up to $5,000. Then at 8 p.m., one grand prize winner will pocket $25,000 in cash to use toward their rent-a-mortgage. This could be your chance, but you have to be here. Live it up this November and go to
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Start your career where the road to success is paved in coffee. At Dunkin' Donuts, we're now hiring crew members and hourly shift leaders at our locally owned locations. Dunkin' offers flexible schedules, employee discounts, health and dental benefits, and paid time off. Plus, bolster your resume with our own leadership training program and even scholarship opportunities. Up to $1,500 per semester. Text Team Spirit to 85000 or visit teamtmart.com/careers to apply. Dunkin', America runs on you.
I was afraid that college would be like high school. I worried about starting over and feeling alone. But I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. At Madison College, I'm part of a community, and I've never felt alone. My instructors have been incredible, and I made so many friends and connections. My advice to others, don't let your fears stop you. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light, live from our respective homes, alongside former Badgers punter Brad Nortman and Adam Mertz. My name is Jesse Nelson. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brought to you in part by Gruber Law Offices, where they have a reputation for winning. Their team works tirelessly to help people seriously injured in accidents by providing the best care and service. There's never a fee until they win your case. Gruber Law Offices, serving the state of Wisconsin for over 35 years. One call, That's all. And, of course, we thank David Gruber and Gruber Law Offices for their support of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day all season long. Let's hear what the former head coach said earlier this week on the Barry Alvarez Show. New episodes debut Mondays at 6 o'clock, always on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, often on 100.5 ESPN Madison. This is the best of Barry.
Let's hear what the coach had to say.
Why did they do that? Because it makes sense. If you got a half a yard, you start a yard. You start closer. You don't have to run 5 yards. I'd run that clock. That game would be over. We'd be home having cocktails at 3:30.
This is the best of Barry
Don't be so touchy.
on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
With the snow falling in Minnesota, this might be a day we're home having cocktails by 6 o'clock tonight. Wisconsin and Minnesota in the battle for Paul Bunyan's axe. Expect a lot of natural running clock in today's game. One clip that Barry Alvarez did share earlier this week before we talk about Minnesota was the win over Illinois, a second win over a ranked opponent this season. Here's what Coach Alvarez had to say about that win over Brett Bielema and the Illinois Fighting Illini.
It's obvious your the coaches didn't lose the players. I mentioned that earlier, that your locker room has stayed positive. You have to have great leadership in that locker room. You have to have great leadership because you've been losing Big Ten games, and all of a sudden you come out and win 2 games against 2 ranked opponents. That's pretty strong. That's pretty strong, and I'm thinking they're probably sitting there thinking, this is what we thought we could do all year, but this is a young team. The coaches kept getting them better. Didn't let them get down. The improvement is obvious, and that's what good coaching does.
Adam Mertz, you hear Barry Alvarez say that, and it's a far cry from Fire Fickell from the student section back in that Maryland game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that credit should be given both ways, credit and blame equally. I think that these guys deserve a ton of credit for putting in, as Barry pointed out, for keeping the young kids involved and interested in this game and making personnel choices that helped infuse more energy into this lineup, and especially thinking about Catalano and Posa on the defensive side of things. So they created and executed a really beautiful game plan against Illinois last week. Full credit. They made Illinois' offense uncomfortable. Luke Altmaier, who I think is a pretty good quarterback, and hung in there early and made some nice throws, just got worn down as the game went on. So it was a beautiful defensive coaching effort. They're making something work offensively right now with kind of an odd mixture of ingredients. And more credit to them on that, too, for Jeff Grimes. Just as we blasted them earlier this season when you saw that debacle against Maryland when that team was unprepared, made terrible choices, terrible undisciplined choices. When you had schematic issues, trying to run trick plays in odd situations. I mean, they were all over the map early this season. So the fact that they've kind of bounced back and gotten onto a page and a rhythm that makes sense as a staff, I think it's definitely a tribute to them. But it's viewed in the context of the whole season. I give credit and I give blame, and they deserve a lot of credit for the last couple of weeks.
Brad, anything you want to add there?
Yeah, it's really well said. And I agree with Coach Alvarez, and I agree with you, Mertzy, in the fact that, it's not easy to do to beat 2 ranked teams. I mean, they're ranked for a reason. And to get those wins and stacking them, it matters. It matters for confidence, recruiting, all the things. I guess just where I'm at is it really is better late than never, I suppose, because all of these things that have occurred over the last month, my question is, why wasn't this implemented in the summer of 2023? And I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about brand of football. I'm talking about players playing on the field that have desire and fire in their heart. I'm talking about a running focused system. How about, Ted Kellner came on KBN in the Homer Hour a couple weeks ago and said that this team is in the bottom third of NIL and that next year they should be in the top third or knocking on the door of the top third. Where was that 2 years ago? That is something that is critical to the lifeline of the team. Luke Fickell with a bit of fire on the side, just all these things that we've seen over the last month, whether it be actual on the field, whether it be actual coaching, actual game plan, and then obviously in this realm of NIL, I just don't understand why this wasn't ignited years ago. Because now you look at this and you say, okay, I'm starting to see what maybe Chris McIntosh sees. I'm beginning to see what could be. And there's still a long way. There's a huge chasm between what was promised and discussed when they hired Coach Fickell to right now, huge chasm. But at least it looks like the trend arrow is up, when it seemed like the trend arrow was just down, perpetually down. So my whole thing with the Wisconsin Badger football team is better late than never. And they're very late. He was almost too late, honestly. But they're doing all the things now, even like connection with former players and Wisconsin coaches, all these things that seem like no-brainers from every angle of the program. We weren't doing them. And over the last month, there's been a really concerted effort to make it happen. And it's to no surprise to me that it translated onto the field. So my question is, where was this 2 years ago? That's a question for another time, I suppose. And maybe we'll never get the answer. Maybe we'll never know what goes on behind the scenes. The reality is there's an effort to do it now. And that is one of the reasons why I think the trend arrow is up.
One more here from Barry Alvarez earlier this week, the best of Barry. You can hear the Barry Alvarez show every week on ESPN Madison and live video streaming on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Barry saying it's a very important game here for Wisconsin and Minnesota to close out the regular season.
Well, I like the fact we have momentum right now. I think a win here would really create a lot of momentum going into the offseason, give you another Big Ten win over a rival. I mean, this is a big rivalry game. It's the longest ongoing rivalry in college football. And so it's a way to get your players cranked up and let them know how important it is, and let them turn it loose. Play your best game. In big games like this, it's really important to finish up strong. Senior day. No, it's not senior day. That was last week. But to finish strong is so important, and to springboard into spring and next season. This game will really mean a lot towards that.
Barry Alvarez echoing the sentiments of Adam Mertz and Brad Nortman. Sometimes it's just great to hear someone who knows ball like Barry Alvarez does say the same thing you asserted an hour ago. So that was just for you guys to take a victory lap and how significant today's game is.
Right. Well, it is. I mean, I feel even more convicted. Thanks, Barry. Thanks for agreeing with us. And even beyond like this game, which is huge, right? It is your rivalry. It's a top 10 college football rivalry, in my opinion. I think the opinion of most people. This sounds such like a loser mindset, but there is a difference between 4 wins and 5 wins. I'm sorry, but there is. Like, you end the year strong, you end the win feeling positively, you end the year with a win, and 5 wins. It doesn't feel as crummy as 4 wins, right? I mean, Barry Alvarez had a 5-win season in 2023, which was the last season that kind of bookmarked this whole bowl streak. And you'd have to go all the way back to 1995 for a 4-win year, which actually they were 4, 5, and 2 times.
Yeah.
Very strange. Very strange. Anyway, 4 wins. Nothing feels good. It all feels a little yucky. Even me just saying, 4 wins, 5 wins. I hate myself for having to say that, but it does feel like there's a difference. And I know there's a difference between an empty trophy case and a full trophy case the whole duration of the offseason. That I know there's a palpable difference.
Yeah. Brad, I was having flashbacks when you said that. I was sitting up in Section M for the 3-3 tie between Illinois and Wisconsin to end that 1995 season. The last tie in college football, and I think they saw that game and they were like, this can't happen again. We're not making the fans suffer. I totally agree on the pride standpoint. I think this is a pride game as much as anything else. And the one addition that I'd make on your 4 versus 5 wins, this would be 3 wins in November. And I think that is something that you can hang your hat on in terms of looking forward to next year. I debated when we were making out our picks and doing our video for social. I started saying momentum out loud, momentum for next season. I'm debating and I'm wrestling with the fact of what is momentum? What was it ever? But what is it now in this era of transfer portal and movement of players around? I don't know what momentum is, but I love the idea of pride. and a trophy case being full, and being able to go on the recruiting path the next couple of days here and point out that guys who are leaving this state to go to Minnesota are going to the program that lost the game on Saturday.
That's such a great point. I mean, you are losing guys to Minnesota. I mean, you've got 2 top Wisconsin commitments that are going to Minnesota over Wisconsin. That is saying something. You got another couple that are going to Indiana, another one going to Iowa. So, I mean, you weren't able to stake your claim on Iowa and Indiana. Here's your opportunity to make a statement about where you are compared to Minnesota.
That's a great point, and another thing at stake today for the border battle coming up just a little over 30 minutes from now, Wisconsin and Minnesota. That was the best of Barry. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. We're brought to you in part by Bruner Realty. Oh, man, this is going to be the best Bruner Realty read I've ever done. Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed, just like my wife Becca and I did. And this is our house. We're here right now doing the show. This is where Stacy Bruner helped us find our home. And we love it here. We were just looking outside as the snow is falling. We got this pond in our back. We're like, this is a gorgeous home. We love being here in the wintertime, in the summertime. It was perfect for us, and it's because Stacy Bruner took the time to get to know us through the home buying process. We looked at a few houses with him. He said, this one might not be the best for you, but it's a good thing to get a metric for what you want to find. And then we found this one, and he was awesome working through the entire process with us when we found our dream home here in Sun Prairie, and you can do the same. Work with the team at Bruner Realty. They've been providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area for years. Contact the team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started today. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Thank you, Stacy Bruner, for helping us find this home, and I hope everyone else does the same. Thanks also to Stacy, a former Bucky, for being a proud partner of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day all season long. Coming up next, our final edition of Scotty Says for the 2025 season, and we get to be the contestants. Can't wait to find out what the category is and how it goes for the three of us. That's next on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
At Grunberg Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Grunberg Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Buying a new vehicle should be exciting, and that's what Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb aims to do. That's why they vow to give you the better buying experience. Jim Rutledge here. I've had 3 better buying experiences at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb, and I keep on going back because the experience and the Chevy is fantastic. So if you're looking for a buying experience you're going to want to repeat anytime you need a new or new-to-you vehicle, I recommend you make the short drive out to Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb, because you're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Last night at TPC Wisconsin completely reset my holiday party expectations. Every bite was exceptional, every need anticipated before I could even ask, and the staff at TPC took such good care of our guests. But the best part? You do not need to be a member to book an event there. Anyone can host a party at TPC Wisconsin. Our holiday party this year is about to become the one everyone wishes they'd attended. Visit tpcwisconsin.com and get your party planning started. tpcwisconsin.com.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Hear that creaking?
That's not the cold Madison wind or your holiday decorations. It's your joints reminding you the year's almost over. At Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin, you can use your end-of-year health benefits before they disappear. From an achy back and stiff hips to those knees that aren't bending like they used to, they've got you covered with same-day appointments and walk-ins welcome. Head to their location just off the Beltline whenever you need. Don't wait, your benefits won't roll over, but you can roll right into Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin today.
Looking to buy your next home or ready to sell and move on to bigger and better things? What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Don't be left out in the cold this season. Let's get housed. Nobody knows what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Steinhaffel's biggest Black Friday sale is happening now. Save 10% store-wide and get $50 instant cash back for every $4.99 you spend. Plus, get a $200 MasterCard rewards card when you use your Steinhaffel's credit card. And get amazing doorbusters like recliners at $229 and sofas just $299. Plus, buy a premium mattress and get free premier delivery on everything. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Counting you down to Wisconsin and Minnesota on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. From our respective homes, alongside Adam Mertz and former Badger Brad Nortman, my name is Jesse Nelson. The injury report quickly is brought to you by Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin. Their Saturday Sports Injury Clinic has you covered. Skip the emergency room circus. Get expert care from the pros who know sports injuries. Walk in any Saturday, 9 to 11:30 at their location off the Beltline and get back in the game with the Orthopedic and Spine Centers of Wisconsin. No significant developments on the injury front for the Badgers today. As expected, Gideon Atuka is out today at running back, so it'll be a heavy dose of Darion Dupree, just like we saw last week against Illinois. Billy Edwards and Danny O'Neill, for those who were wondering if maybe they would get any action here down the stretch, they are also out as well. So no significant developments really on the injury front outside of Gideon Atuka officially being ruled out for the final game of the season after that injury that he suffered against Indiana. We hope that he's well in his continued recovery. All right, let's have some fun. For the final time this season, Brad, Mertzy, and I are the contestants for Scotty Says.
It's time to play Scotty Says. Brought to you by Pizza Hut, the official pizza of Wisconsin College Game Day. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Give it up for Jesse Nelson.
Well, thank you, Big Boy Sky, but actually give it up for Riley Yauk, our host of today's game.
Alrighty, guys, last Scotty Says had to make it a good one. The Badgers are playing Minnesota today, and I was surprised to learn that Minnesota has a lot of trophy games, aside from the one today. Minnesota has played for 6 different trophies in football specifically throughout its history, 4 of which are still active. Name 5 of these trophies.
Jeez.
We are going to start. If you get the team name, I may consider that counting. We'll start with Jesse Nelson. He seems the most unsure.
All right, Floyd of Rosedale. I know there's a pig. Floyd of Rosedale.
That is correct. They play Iowa for the Floyd of Rosedale.
The Little Brown Jug, Michigan.
That is correct. 2 for 2.
All right, those are the ones I know. So I'm going to take a shot in the dark here on one of the historical ones that is no longer. I know Chicago University used to have a football team because they show up in random Big Ten stuff like this. So I'm going to say Minnesota and Chicago University had some type of trophy they played for.
That is incorrect. They did not have a trophy in Chicago's illustrious football history.
Yeah. All right, I'm out.
But he's got 2
have a
off
nice
the
year,
board.
Scotty Says.
Little Brown Jug and Floyd of Rosedale are off the board. Mertzy, you're up.
I'll jump in.
Nope.
All right, no, Mertzy, you got it.
All right, I'm gonna leave the big one for Brad. We'll leave the layup for Brad. The current trophy.
Wow, that's arrogance.
No, let's get after these hard ones, and then we can build some momentum on Brad's if he needs to bail us out. Slab of bacon.
Oh, yeah.
That is correct.
That was ours.
The first trophy before Paul Bunyan's axe was the slab of bacon against the Wisconsin Badgers.
Stories. Yeah, that thing mysteriously disappeared and then resurfaced 30 years later in a Wisconsin, storage room, but it had some of the updated scores on it. So they're just like, we're just not giving it back. You gotta love that.
And it is currently on display at the McLean Center if you're a student athlete or would like to see it. There's 3.
Yeah, and I went with slab because I'm like, I am running short here on options. I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna try to cheat here, Riley, and say Illinois. I don't know what they play for, but I'm gonna say that they have one with Illinois.
That is incorrect. They do not have a trophy with Illinois. You have 3 off the board. Brad Nortman, it is up to you. 2 of which are still active today, 1 of which was retired.
Who else do they play for something?
Okay,
it's
so I'm
a
going to
team
go
I
with,
don't
of
think
course,
you'd expect, probably.
the layup of Paul Bunyan's axe, the current Wisconsin one.
That is correct. You have 4 off the board. Paul Bunyan's axe, obviously still in play.
I thought we were saying the axe.
No, axe is part of it. They do still play.
Okay, so we have...
There's
we have one that's
one that is currently active and one that's retired.
Okay, well, it's got to be another Big Ten school. I feel like the retired one has got to be like, North Dakota State or something like that.
I'll give you a hint. They're both current Big Ten schools.
Ooh. Okay, never mind then. Scrap that. So I don't think a trophy game would come out of a new rivalry. So I'm thinking more of the Purdue and Northwesterns of the world that have been around for a while. Maybe Iowa. Wait, I think there is one with Iowa.
Florida Rosedale.
No, Florida Rosedale is Iowa.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That rascal
I'm just going
pig.
to take a stab. And say between. Does Penn State have one with them? I don't think so. I think between Northwestern and Purdue are the only ones that I can think of with any sort of juice. I'm going to go with Northwestern.
Brad Nortman, you are incorrect. Unfortunately, you had it at the end. You brought up Penn State. Minnesota currently plays Penn State for the Governor's Victory Bell.
Wow.
I believe that is in possession
What the heck does
of
that have
the
to do with
Nittany
anything?
What a lopsided, strange rivalry.
Yep, Penn State. It doesn't make much sense. And then for a few years, only 3 actually, from 2014 to 2016, they played Nebraska for the $5 Bits of Broken Chair Trophy. Or just the Broken Chair Trophy. And then for some reason, the universities didn't like it. And then they retired it. And now it's just a charitable thing where both fan bases donate for, I believe it's cancer research for the Broken Chair Trophy.
Well, that's nice.
That one I wasn't expecting you guys to get, but the Victory Bell still active between Penn State and Minnesota. Unfortunately, no Pizza Hut for you guys today as we conclude, Scotty says.
Man.
Great effort, though.
What a run all season long. What a great addition Scotty says was to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day all season long. And, of course, it wouldn't be possible without our friends at Pizza Hut. Thank you to Pizza Hut for their support of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day all season long. No one out Pizza Hut. And right now, holiday season, the Triple Treat Box is available at Pizza Hut for a limited time. Awesome stuff. Of course, you get the great pizzas. You also get some sweet treats that you can enjoy as part of those Triple Treat Boxes with Pizza Hut. Take advantage of it. We had it in our office the other day for a Free Food Friday courtesy of Pizza Hut. You can take advantage yourself as you're getting together with your friends to watch a big day of games like today, or, of course, coming up, Conference Championship Day next Saturday. Great day to have the Triple Treat Box from Pizza Hut on hand with your pals, or maybe just for yourself. No one out pizzas the Hut. Pizza Hut, the official pizza of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. All right, coming up next, we will laugh at Riley for his half-hearted effort at his Paul Bunyan attire today. And also, Adam Mertz has a nugget for us on the University of Minnesota and the row the boat mantra that PJ Fleck has brought for the Gophers. We will talk plenty about that as we continue to count down in the waning moments of our season on ESPN Wisconsin College. Although I will say this, guys, UTEP making a big comeback on Delaware, 31-20 at the break. So don't count the Miners out just yet, and don't count Wisconsin out of a bowl game. We might have one more show still to go. You never know. But assuming this will be our final show, 2 segments left for us here as we count down to kick off for the border battle, Wisconsin and Minnesota on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
At Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction, you won't have to worry about your old lawnmower pulling a hamstring. They make buying and selling easy. Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction is simple, reliable, and unlike your fantasy team this football season, they'll actually deliver. Have equipment taking up space? Let them be your surplus solution. You send it in, they list it, people bid, and you actually win. Bid, buy, sell, and score big today at WisconsinSurplus.com. Because winning isn't just for game day. WisconsinSurplus.com.
Make the best seat in the house yours. Carbless delivers the handcrafted cocktail experience right to your living room. Bold flavor, no carbs, no sugar, just 100 calories, and all the taste with none of the extra baggage. From kickoff to the final play, Carbless is your game day go-to. Hosting friends, watching with family, or celebrating every big drive, Carbless keeps the good times pouring. So when the game's on the line, make the winning call. Skip the mixing, grab the bliss, and make every seat the best seat in the house. Find Carbless near you at drinkcarbless.com.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesh Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
There's a lot to be thankful for this season at Metro Ford of Madison. Get the 2025 Ford F-150 STX, now available with 2.9% APR for 66 months. That's just $16.64 per $1,000 financed. Or if leasing's your style, drive home the F-150 STX for just $299 a month with $3,859 due at signing for 36 months. Don't wait. These thankful offers end December 1st. Find your next Ford today at MetroFordofMadison.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Score the top gifts for the Brewers fan in your life this holiday season. Set them up for an epic 2026 season with the all-new Brewers Holiday Bundle, featuring 4 ticket vouchers, loaded value concession credits, and an exclusive Brewers Holiday ornament, starting at just $99. Finish shopping for even the youngest Brewers fans with the 2026 Kids Crew Kit, including one-of-a-kind Brewers merch, 6 ticket vouchers, a ballpark tour, and more, all for just $35. Grab every Brewers Holiday gift today at brewers.com.
The host might be irrelevant, but the conversations aren't.
Jordan Love was not the MVP candidate he was through the first 2 weeks yesterday.
Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
I think he's a good quarterback. I think he has the potential to be a top 5 quarterback. But when you make decisions like he did yesterday on that interception throw, that's what prevents you from going from good to great.
Live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also available on the ESPN Wisconsin app and wherever you get your podcasts. We're on the Badgers.
This is where probably the program mindset has to change.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
What we probably have to do is ante up for unproven and bet on future success, not on past.
This is 100.5 ESPN. From LA to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
Good afternoon, Madison, and streamers all across the state of Wisconsin. My name is Riley Yauk. This is your Metro Ford of Madison scoreboard update. Ohio State looking to put the finishing touches on the Michigan Wolverines as they lead 27-9 with just over 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It'd be Ohio State's first win in 5 years over the Maize and Blue. Texas Tech cruising over West Virginia 49-0. They await BYU in the Big 12 championship game. Miami about to finish up over Pitt 31-7 at the 2-minute timeout. And now BYU with some breathing room over UCF. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. They lead the Knights 31-14. That should be a good one. Potential 2-bid league, the Big 12. Some scores of some previous matchups in the top 25. Number 2, Indiana handled Purdue 56-3. They await more than likely Ohio State in the Big 10 championship game. Texas causing chaos 27-17 over Texas A&M. Don't put the Longhorns in the playoff, please. Georgia 16-9 victors over Georgia Tech. Ole Miss beats Mississippi State 38-19, and Utah over Kansas 31-21.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
A little trivia for you guys here on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. There are 4 teams that the Badgers have played this season that have an opportunity to play in their conference championship game. Mertzy, can you rattle your brain and get the 4?
Well, Indiana, Ohio State, Alabama.
Yep.
I'm going to go, because Middle Tennessee's horrible, so I'll go with Miami.
Miami, Ohio is moments away from clinching a berth in the MAC championship game.
Wow.
With a 45-17 win over Ball State. They're going to be 7-5, but good enough to make the MAC championship game against Western Michigan. So, looking like a nice win from week 1 for the Badgers, facing adversity with Billy Edwards going down with the injury. Beating a team that might win a MAC championship in week 1 at Camp Randall Stadium. How about it? This season has just been wild. Right? Yeah, and like this, the way where we started to where we are, this is just a crazy year. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. Victories. It's brewed by Coors Light. And quite frankly, the amount of victories is astonishing as well. Our friends at Liberty Station are running a game day shuttle. Again, they'll do it next year as well. It's the best deal in sports, and you should take advantage of Liberty Station, but not just during the season. Do it all off season as well. Liberty Station, the official caterer of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Days tailgate parties down on Regent Street. The Smokehouse, the American Tavern and Smokehouse, it's just wonderful. They have fantastic drinks. They have fantastic barbecue. It is the absolute best. We love it over at Liberty Station, and throughout the holidays, into the spring, and of course when we meet again next fall, you should continue to enjoy Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse just off the Beltline on the west side of Madison. And book it now for next year. The game day shuttle from Liberty Station, $20, Coors Light in hand, round trip to and from the stadium. There is no better deal than the shuttle that they run from Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse, official partner of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. All right, we're running short on time here, Mertzy, so I do want to make sure we clear the floor for you to share what you've learned about PJ Fleck and the Minnesota Golden Gophers program here this week.
So this was reading through their game notes that they put out every week, and everyone knows the row the boat mantra, revolts by it in Wisconsin. They do have buy-in on it. It is one of these things that's always rubbed me the wrong way, and which is why I'm celebrating the demise of Luke Fickell's vest, his TEAM vest. I think we should have a barrel burn on that thing because it reminds me of this stuff. Anyone who's old enough remembers the accessories stores from the 90s. They had these posters that just inspire you with lofty, vacuous phrases. Row the Boat is way up there. There's a section beyond just like they do the breakdown of what the oar is and what the boat is. And they get deep into this. Instead of just having row the boat, just being like, okay, man, I'll get along with that. It seems like something if we're all rowing the same direction, we're good. They have a section that's called Past, Present, and Future. And it's these prisms through which you can view the row the boat phrase. If just accepting it as a catchphrase is not enough for you, if you want to go a little bit deeper. The future is the one that excited me the most. Just take this in for a minute. When rowing a boat, as in life, you aren't able to see what is coming your way. Your back is actually facing the future, unable to see what's coming next. Facing the opposite direction can be a very scary and uncomfortable position to be in. However, as in life, worrying about the future only prohibits you from being your absolute best in the present. You aren't able to control the future, but you can control how you react and prepare for it with every stroke you take.
Wow. Did they type in, hey, ChatGPT, give me the cheesiest, most cliche row the boat paragraph possible. Enter. Copy, paste, put it right in there.
It sure seems like it. Isn't it great?
That's in their official game notes provided by the school?
Correct.
What?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to do this to the Gordon Flesh Company, but I'm going to tell you about them right now. We used to play a game on the show called Flush It or Flesh It. I think we have a third option now, Fleck It, and that's what we just experienced from what Adam Mertz just provided for us here. For more than 65 years, Gordon Flesh Company has provided cutting-edge technology for companies of all sizes as the nation's largest Canon and Lexmark dealer that's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more. That's GFLESCH.com to learn more about the Gordon Flesh Company, a proud partner of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day all season long. Well, nothing gets us ready to count down to kickoff like what Adam Mertz just read to us from the Minnesota game notes on the mantra of row the boat. It's row the boat versus TEAM, or maybe not so much anymore since the vest has been retired. We'll give our final thoughts for Wisconsin, Minnesota, and our final thoughts for the 2025 College Game Day pregame season. That's coming up next to close out this edition of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Want to move better, play faster, and compete at a higher level? Train where Wisconsin's top athletes go. Total Athlete Performance. From middle school phenoms to the pros, TAP is Madison's #1 destination for speed, power, and athleticism. Their proven systems, expert coaches, and cutting-edge equipment help you dominate your sport. Can't make it in? Train anywhere with the TAP mobile app. Spots are filling fast, so don't wait. Visit tapwisconsin.com to schedule your free athletic assessment today.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Stroh for my great friends at Door County Distillery. Locally produced, handcrafted, award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. It's the best time of the year. It's bourbon season. Weather outside getting a little chilly, but you can stay warm with a delicious glass of the Door County Distillery bourbon. Or check out Door County Distillery exclusives like their cherry bourbon and their bat bourbon. It's bat good. Visit their website, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Welcome to Jackpot Land, this fall at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Play your favorite games with your Potawatomi Rewards card all fall to win your share of thousands in prizes each month and earn entries into the big December Jackpot Land prize drawings. Your October, November, and December entries all count. Win thousands in cash or reward play. Welcome to Jackpot Land, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Talk Badger sports year-round with the Jump Around podcast.
Let's hope that the Badger program is rewarded for going against the grain, which is not pulling the trigger early on some of these moves with Coach Fickell. Because everybody's saying, oh, no, 2-3 years, done, whatever. No, maybe sustainability and commitment to the long term. We're the school that it pays off.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Steinhoffels. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Want to move better, play faster, and compete at a higher level? Train where Wisconsin's top athletes go. Total Athlete Performance. From middle school phenoms to the pros, TAP is Madison's #1 destination for speed, power, and athleticism. Their proven systems, expert coaches, and cutting-edge equipment help you dominate your sport. Can't make it in? Train anywhere with the TAP mobile app. Spots are filling fast, so don't wait. Visit tapwisconsin.com to schedule your free athletic assessment today.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Final segment of our pregame show of the season on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. I wish we had been able to spend more time together, mostly because one of us was off almost every show all season long, for better or worse. But nonetheless, we had a wonderful time this season looking ahead to each Wisconsin football game. There's no doubt the party was still alive on Regent Street when we were at our home tailgates all season long, and even for the road games. Badgers fans showing out at establishments all around the Madison area. Special shout out, by the way, to two establishments that we want to highlight today. Timbers in DeForest and Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton. They were going to host our pre- and post-game shows here today for the final game of the season due to the weather and the severe weather impacting all of Madison and the greater state of Wisconsin. We are not at those establishments today, but special thanks to each of them, Timbers in DeForest and Monks in Middleton, for their support of ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day today. Our time comes to an end. Adam Mertz, final thoughts as we get set for kickoff of the final game of the season, Wisconsin and Minnesota.
What we talked about earlier about pride and this being a game where what's meaningful as much as the outcome of this individual game is where you're at, where you're finishing this season strong and showing that you are on the upward trajectory that everyone wants you to see going into 2026. So big shout out to like Darrell Peterson and the rest of that pass rush to get after Drake Lindsey today. I think they need to force errors in a game like this, and excited to see a Bucky win to close out 2025.
Brad Nortman, your final thoughts.
Yeah, this is a game that Minnesota should be able to, held in Minnesota, that Wisconsin should be able to win. I mean, this is a team that's not terribly intimidating, and the way that this Badger team has been playing, they should be able to get the win today, muddy it up, load the box, establish the run, do the things that Wisconsin football knows how to do. It's winnable and it's meaningful. Two big reasons that I'm excited for this game, more so than any for the rest of the year. And if and when Wisconsin reclaims that axe, I'm going to be looking forward to and already a little bit excited for 2026.
Riley Yauk, our producer in the Everlight Solar Studio at ESPN Madison all season long. You're doing a post-game show today, right?
That I am.
Are you doing it with anybody? Like, is it just going to be you in that studio? Like, what's happening
It's going to be me in the studio. We got Corey Sparks potentially from the ESPN Milwaukee studio. If not, he will also be doing it from home. But myself and Corey Sparks will have all of your post-game reaction coming up immediately following the final whistle across ESPN Wisconsin. We're fired up to watch the Badgers chop the axe. I keep saying that. Chop the goalpost down with the axe at Huntington Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Going to be awesome.
All right. Then for one final time this season, hand up, everybody, and in 3 different places. This could be interesting. I pledge to tune in.
To
the post-game show.
To the post-game show.
And with that, we bid you adieu. We crack open our Coors Lights, and we say thank you for joining us all season long on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light. On Wisconsin.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many